What is a rock? Google says that a rock is the solid mineral material forming part of the surface of the Earth and other similar planets, exposed on the surface or underlying the soil or oceans. Some rocks are gray and some are green. Some rocks are thick and some are thin. They come from the mountains, they swim in the seas, birthed from lava, and everything in between. Every rock is special. It is carved uniquely in nature, and they all tell a unique story. And it just so happens that I have a rock collection. Yep, those are my fingers. We're just gonna get straight into it. The first rock is this really interesting black rock. It has a really interesting shape, some smaller white and light brown rocks inside of it. It has a really interesting pattern on the back, some different colors, a bit more of a gray. It's quite a strong note to start on, really interesting one. The next one is a bit more of a standard one, but still really pretty, cool patterns, a lot of smaller rocks inside of the big rock, different color, different shape, different size, still unique and beautiful. Let's move on. We have this one, which is a hybrid of a red and orange. It is much smaller, but I feel like the color really makes up for it. You don't see this color very often, at least I haven't, and I personally find this color and this rock to be really interesting. Now we have this really interesting white one with a lot of different colors within it, some black, some red, some gray. It's actually really beautiful. Now this next one is another more standard one, but the other side when you flip it is actually quite astonishing. All of those small rocks, different colors, really beautiful pattern. It's quite amazing. This next one is kind of like a rotten flesh, hellish kind of rock. It's kind of gross in a sense, but I kind of feel like it makes it unique. You definitely don't see this one very often. It's kind of charred on the back. It's quite interesting. It's really interesting. Moving on, we have this one, another kind of like a hybrid of red and orange. This one is a bit more brown, and you can really see the kind of difference in color on the same rock. It's quite interesting. I find it really beautiful. I think it's pretty awesome. This next one is a bit of a smaller one. It has many different textures, different colors. It's alright. It's alright. This one is in one hand pretty basic, pretty standard, but you have all of these like small black kind of overtones on the rock, which kind of makes it look a bit more unique, even though the actual rock is not that special. That small detail of all of that black around it kind of gives it a bit of an interesting edge. This one is a very clean, clear white rock, no undertones, no half-halves. It's just very clear. It has a nice shape to it. I feel like every rock collector has to have at least one clear white rock. Moving on, we have this one, which probably has the most unique texture out of all of the rocks that I have. It kind of looks like a barnacle. It kind of looks like lettuce. There's definitely nothing like it in my collection. And I find it to be pretty cool because, again, you don't see stuff like this very often. So to have something like this in your collection is quite unique. It's quite special. I really fuck with it. Let's move on. Now this one is actually a salt rock, which, to be honest, I don't know how this rock is still in my collection. It has been in there for a year, and salt rocks usually evaporate after a while, but this one is still sticking on, so that's cool. This one is quite a plain one, but again, if you're gonna have a rock collection, you also have to include some more basic ones, and I feel like this rock kind of fits that bill. Next one. Now this is crazy. This is one of the best rocks I have. It is beautiful. Look at that color, look at that pattern, all of those small rocks within it. There was just so much personality to this rock. It's so special, so unique. Some of the gray on one of the sides, it's just beautiful. Next one. This one, again, it's basic, but it's classy. Two colors, really nice pattern. It's built out of smaller rocks. I really like it. This one, again, really beautiful color, really amazing pattern. It is so complicated. It feels like a rock that can tell you a story. It's really nice. Look at all of those smaller rocks. It's quite incredible, man. It's pretty astonishing. It's beautiful. It just is. It's beautiful. It's incredible. This next one is one of the best rocks I have in my collection. This one is bigger than most of my rocks, but look at that beautiful pattern. Look at how those stripes move on the rock. It has such a consistent pattern. Those colors just jump out of you. It is so beautiful. There's really not much more to say about this rock. It's just really beautiful. I fuck with it. Now, this is one more of those hell rocks, those rotten flesh rocks, those severed arm rocks. It is charred on the other side. You just don't see stuff like this every day. So when you do, you gotta pick it up, because who the hell has rocks like that? Now, we have this one, which is gonna be a bit difficult to pick up on the camera, but there were actually two colors, a red one and a brown one, kind of an orange one. And the way that the rock kind of encapsulates both colors and blends in, I think is really beautiful. I think the shape is nice, the size is nice. It's just a really nice rock. Now this is a smaller one. It has some pretty bold colors, some black, some red, some white, with those smaller rocks within it. It is again kind of charred. It looks burned, but like in a cool way. I really like it. It's a bit broken. That adds to the personality of the rock. Now, this one is again one of my best ones. Just look at that color. Look at it. It's so shiny. The colors are so distinguishable, but everything blends in together perfectly. It's just a beautiful rock. It's like, you don't usually get stuff this detailed with rocks. This one is really something special. It's beautiful. Now, I'm not sure if this is really a rock, but I don't have anything in my collection of the same consistency. It's kind of more like a brick than a rock, but hey, it's something new. Now this, wow, this rock looks like a map. It looks like somebody left a treasure and he carved the treasure map on this rock. Look at that pattern. Look at those colors. It's beautiful. It's majestic. That green, those brown notes, light brown, dark brown. It's beautiful. Next, we have this one, which is also one of the most interesting rocks I have. It's mostly black, but it has that small bit of red on the side. It kind of looks like an infected rock in a sense. It's really interesting. I personally think it's one of my best. It's really interesting. Again, you don't see many of these every day. I think it's a really interesting addition to my collection. This next one is a big one. It's a big boy. This looks like a treasure. This rock has some of the most unique patterns, shapes, those weird white strings inside of it. This is just crazy. I mean, look at it. It looks like some weird alien stuff. It's crazy. It's really interesting, and I definitely don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. It's a really unique one. It is all gray, but that shape is just something special. This next one though has a really interesting kind of mountain-like structure, with the peak being like whitish and the bottom part being brownish. It kind of looks like a miniature version of a mountain. I personally find it to be really cool. Now we have this bad boy, like black and gray, super duper clean, super duper consistent with the pattern. It's really beautiful. It looks like the kind of rock you can make a jewel out of, maybe a necklace, maybe a ring. It kind of looks like obsidian. It's really pretty. Then this next one is again one of the grainier ones. Look at that pattern. All of those small rocks, it looks like a brick, but it's not a brick, it's a natural rock formed in the sea. It's incredible. Look at all of those small details, how kind of thin it is, but how much it's still able to pack a punch. Great stuff. Now, we have this bad boy, really beautiful, crystal-like. Look at that shine. It looks like a crystal. It might actually be a kind of a crystal. It's really beautiful. It kind of looks like glass. I definitely don't have many rocks like this in my entire collection, so this one shines in its uniqueness. The black parts are shiny, the brown parts are shiny, it's shiny in all different directions. It really looks like a crystal. It's beautiful. Now this one looks like it's straight out of hell. Look at this shit. It looks crazy. It looks like the devil just threw a rock at someone and it just happened to stumble upon regular earth. Look at it. It looks molten. It looks lava-ish, hellish. It's just crazy. This next one though, one of the more interesting and unique rocks I have. This consistency, these colors, I mean look at that red. It's so like bright, it's so noticeable. It's just a thing of beauty. It's amazing. The way that it kind of like strips down a bit, the way that the first layer is kind of brittle, it's really interesting. It's beautiful. We next have this one, which is again, it's another one of my crystal-like rocks. Look at that shine and reflectiveness. It looks like a mirror. It looks like glass. It's really pretty. And the way that the colors mesh, the white, the kind of dark brown, the black, the light brown, it's all beautiful. It's just an incredible rock. I love it. Now we have this just pitch black, mid black. It's like, it's blacker than the night. It looks like coal almost. It looks like obsidian. It shines even brighter than like the crystals because it's so black. It's really beautiful. Another one of the smaller rocks we have, this one is similar to some of the other ones we had. It's nice, it's really pretty, it's clean, cool patterns, cool consistency. Nothing too much to say about this one, but hell, you get it. It's a good one. And it's also the last one. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Orange. A new video every week. Stay tuned in. Peace.